Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to teasers on The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers is exhibiting some unsettling symptoms that could be problematic. Is it possible that Martin Laurent, also known as Alan Laurent, planned for some delayed poisoning effects? After consuming a bottle of water while in prison, Phyllis quickly fell quite unwell. Without the remedy that Sharon Newman discovered, Phyllis might have met a terrible end because she was in excruciating pain from the burn in her stomach. But since the antidote was created by a lunatic, there's no assurance that it was safe. Phyllis might have been given something to offset the toxin while also putting her at risk for further health problems in the future. At first, Phyllis was relieved, but if Martin was being twisted, then some delayed poison effects might be starting to take effect. We wouldn't rule out Martin adding additional nefarious elements to his plan. Following the kidnapping ordeal, Summer Newman provided Sharon and Nick Newman with some concerning details about Phyllis in the March 19th episode of YNR. Summer claims that Phyllis has been acting strangely and erratically. Summer is accustomed to Phyllis's intense concentration, but lately she has become disorganized and loses her line of thought during casual conversations. Phyllis may be struggling to reintegrate into her real life or may be suffering from PTSD. Nevertheless, there's a possibility that something more significant is happening. After all the pandemonium of the kidnapping, paramedics checked Sharon and Phyllis out, but they really need to have had a more comprehensive examination at the hospital. After seeing Phyllis's medical crises while they were confined, Sharon expressed her own worries in the episode on March 19th and emphasized that Phyllis could require medical attention. Before consuming poison and a potentially dubious remedy, Phyllis was drugged to bring her into captivity, thus she has a variety of unknown substances in her system. Does Martin have any more tricks in his sleeve regarding Phyllis's after effects? Summer will continue to make some disturbing predictions regarding Phyllis's condition, but only time will tell. Stay in for additional updates on Phyllis's condition, as spoilers for The Young and the Restless indicate that Billy Abbott will attempt to assist her as well in the next episodes. After receiving a call from Connor, Chelsea informed Billy she was concerned when they met at Crimson Lights. Connor's grades have started declining once more, Chelsea informed Billy. Chelsea feared her son's frustrations were eroding his self-esteem. Chelsea was reassured by Billy that they would all work together to solve the issue. Billy inquired as to whether Chelsea had spoken to Adam about Connor's recent difficulties. Chelsea told Billy that after speaking with Connor's school officials, plans were being made to determine whether Connor's issues stemmed from a learning disability. Chelsea's sorrow over her son was evident to Billy. According to Chelsea, Connor had initially flourished at the school and made friends since he had suggested the transfer. Chelsea didn't know how to return Connor to that stage. Billy made an effort to reassure Chelsea that after determining the issue, the school will assist Connor in resolving the issues on both an intellectual and emotional level. Chelsea said to Billy that the melancholy in Connor's voice had brought to mind the previous time Connor had been having difficulties and that not even Chelsea and Adam's love had been able to make things better. Chelsea concurred with Billy that Connor should receive the assistance he required at his school. Chelsea informed Billy about Adam's overreaction when he learned about Connor's problems. Because he was not impartial toward Adam, Billy felt it was time for him to get out of the situation. Billy and Chelsea both acknowledged that they believed Adam loved Connor, but Chelsea claimed she didn't trust Adam's opinion about taking a beat before reacting, especially when it involves his son. Chelsea was relieved that she hadn't rushed to visit Connor in her moment of distress. Billy had calmed her down, and she appreciated it. Chelsea feared Adam would act in the name of protecting his son. Adam confided in Sally at Society about his worries regarding Connor's education. Perhaps, Sally said, it was just the normal speed bumps that happen when school gets a little harder. Adam was asked by Sally how Connor had sounded during the boys' call. Adam clarified that Chelsea had called Adam after Connor had called Chelsea. Adam was told by Sally that Connor adored him. Like the majority of children his age, Sally thought Connor didn't want to attract attention to himself and was only attempting to keep a low profile. Since Adam hadn't been present for a large portion of his son's life, he was certain that Connor trusted Chelsea more. Neither Victor nor I had grown up with our fathers, Adam said. So, what comes next? Is Connor's turn now? Inquired Adam. Adam felt accountable for the condition of his son. Adam told Sally, "This is all my fault." Adam was informed by Sally that she thought he was an excellent father. Sally wasn't buying it, but Adam wasn't. Sally said, "Adam, you'll never convince me your son doesn't adore you." Sally went on to say that she would not allow Adam to be critical of himself. Adam was informed by Sally that, "I think you're a pretty great dad." Sally clarified that Adam had demonstrated faith in Connor, trust in Connor's judgment, and respect for Connor's feelings by supporting his son and allowing Connor to select his own school. Adam had been in frequent communication with Connor via phone conversations, in-person visits, and video chats ever since Connor had switched schools, Sally reminded Adam. Adam was reminded by Sally that Connor had been doing well in the new school up until the recent hiccup. Adam feared that Connor would eventually tell him that he had no desire to see his father ever again. That notion was rejected by Sally, who told Adam, "I grew up without either one of my parents because they couldn't be bothered to stick around." Adam had supported Connor, and Sally wished one of her parents had done the same for her. "Don't you dare think it doesn't matter to him," Sally warned Adam. "Every time he looks at you, I can see it. You have no idea how important it is." Sally's hand was taken by Adam. Victor asked Jack the same question again in Nikki's office. "Maybe you didn't understand me. Why are you here?" Victor persisted in his investigation despite Nikki and Jack's attempts to assure him it was nothing. Victor claimed that Jack obtained the details of the Newman family's ordeal in Oregon and then interrogated Victor about them. "What are you doing here?" Victor inquired a third time. Jack interjected before Nikki could reply, lying to Victor about how he and Nikki had met at an AA meeting. "What were you doing at the same AA meeting?" Victor inquired. Jack brought up Jack's history of opioid addiction to Victor. Victor remained unfazed. "What were you doing at the same AA meeting?" Victor said it again. AA meetings were beneficial for all types of addicts, Jack told Victor. Jack claimed to have met Nikki, taken her out for coffee following the meeting, and escorted her back to the office. "End of story," told Jack. "You both have addictions. You ought to be around him." Nikki was questioned by Victor. It was wonderful that Jack accompanied her, she informed her spouse. Victor expressed his happiness that Nikki was attending meetings. Nikki acknowledged that she needed them for her family as well as for herself. "What caused the most recent incident?" Victor asked Nikki. Victor was questioned by Nikki about whether the phone call he had received the night before had been regarding the fire at Jordan's prison. Victor was accused by Nikki of staying quiet about it in order to shield her. Victor admitted to Nikki that he had withheld facts. Since Nikki and Victor's chat was about to get private, Nikki suggested having lunch with Jack. After agreeing, Jack walked out of the office. When the door was shut behind him, Jack let out a sigh of relief. Nikki informed Victor that she had found out about the fire online. She acknowledged that the news of the large fire had taken her by surprise. "Everywhere Jordan goes, it seems like she brings chaos and destruction with her," Nikki noted. "Since she is now in my thoughts and permeating every aspect of our existence, it seems that she cannot simply be imprisoned and forgotten." "I assure you, she will eventually disappear from our lives," Victor retorted. "The requirement that you confide in Jack Abbott is what I dislike. I don't like it, you know." Victor was questioned by Nikki what he had discovered regarding the fire. Victor informed Nikki that he had not heard anything new. Nikki questioned him about the possibility that Jordan may have set the fire in order to get away. Nikki was reassured by Victor, "I promise you this, if she comes around, tries to do any harm to you or to our family, she will not live long enough to regret it." Nikki didn't think she could have Victor's level of confidence. Victor assured his wife that she could rely on him if she didn't feel strong. When Victor recommended that they head home, Nikki said that she had more work to do because Audra was not there. When Victor offered to assist Nikki in finding Audra's replacement, Nikki informed him that she had already arranged for a few people to be considered. Nikki told Victor that she wanted to personally screen potential replacements in order to assess their compatibility as well as their skill set. Victor reminded Nikki to come to him in case she needed anything. Nikki agreed, grinning. She was left to work by Victor. Nikki had a troubled expression. Tucker was in a foul mood when Audra arrived at his house. Tucker refused to talk about it when she questioned him about it. Audra was aware of the reason behind Tucker's attitude. "This is about Ashley, isn't it?" she asked Tucker. "You're allowing it to affect you, and she's pulling your chain once more." Tucker informed Audra about Ashley's trip to Paris when they were having coffee. He informed Audra that Tucker's account of what happened had been verified by the waitress Ashley had questioned. Tucker informed Audra that Ashley had contacted him to accuse him of paying the waiter, but she had not apologized. Tucker was labeled pathetic by Audra for allowing the argument with Ashley to send him into a snit like this. When Tucker continued to waste his time and energy on Ashley, Audra told him that she was bored and offended. Tucker would never be able to break his bond with Ashley, Audra said. "Why do you care one way or the other?" Tucker asked Audra. Audra said, "Tucker, you don't get to turn this around on me. It was about Tucker's fixation and complete idiocy with regard to Ashley," she informed him. Audra was asked by Tucker why she was interested in his feelings for Ashley. "Because I could almost rely on you before you got sucked back into her vortex," Audra replied. "You now submit to her every whim, which makes me submit to yours as well." According to Tucker, he still meant what he had said to Audra. Audra enumerated Tucker's assertions. "I am the positive aspect of your existence. Your heart races when you're around me. The person you want to be with is me. However, you're hoping that Ashley will agree to your interpretation of Paris, and she miraculously returns to you." "Tucker, that's offensive," Audra said. "I've had enough," she said to Tucker. Audra got up to go. After stopping her, Tucker said he was sorry for jerking her. Tucker reiterated that he had spoken to Audra with sincerity. "It's profound," Tucker said. "It is unlike anything I have ever encountered." However, Tucker acknowledged that he was influenced by the Ashley scenario, but not because he was lusting for her. "Then, what is it?" Audra insisted. Tucker told Audra he was worried Ashley might come back crazy and blame him for something he hadn't done. According to Tucker, he wanted Ashley to admit that she was at fault so that they could be done with it all. Audra questioned whether Tucker had really bribed the server because Ashley had called to accuse rather than to apologize.